we are checking into Raffles London OWO. Let's take a look at my room. So one thing I actually already loved from the very beginning with these rooms is walking up. They remind you of almost like walking into an apartment in New York City. They do personalize your key cards for you, so they put your initials on them and not the room, just for safety measures. Walking into your little flat or apartment room here. The suite that I'm in today has got 1.5 bathrooms, a living room, and a bedroom. But I'm gonna take you along with me so you can see our room tour. So going in to our cute little guest bathroom, they called it when they showed us around our room. We have lots of nice marble everywhere. This property is an older property, but it was just renovated in 2023. So it feels old and historic, but it also has that really fresh new touch to it. One thing I will note about this room is actually the floors are heated. And to me, small touches like heated floors, heated toilets, that makes the difference between luxury and ultra luxury. And then next is our coat closet area, where if you'd like to take off your jacket or hang some umbrellas in here, this is a nice little area, or even leave your shoes. Closing that off, you walk into this very spacious living room area. You have a nice little desk here where you can do work or set any of your things down. I love having a tucked away desk area so I can break up my laptop and kind of get some things done. And then you have this beautiful view of the city. And fun, interesting thing is actually you can see changing of the guards happening right over there. When we checked in at OWO Raffles, they were so kind. They gave us like welcome drinks and they were extremely friendly at the front desk. And then we had somebody basically escort us through the property and tell us about some of the history and give us kind of a good layout of the land. And then walking straight into here, we also have this cute little amenity area where they left us a full bottle of champagne, a cute little salad that was freshly made, and some macaroons with these nice little notes. That's so nice. I personally love those kind of welcoming touches, like welcome drinks. They gave us warm towels, somebody escorting you through the property, letting you know where everything is. She then took us through the elevator and showed us to our room. And to me, once again, that's the difference between luxury and ultra luxury, because I don't feel like they're like, okay, elevator's to the left, you go, and then you kind of turn around and you're like, okay, where's the room? I have no idea where I'm going. I've never been here before. Then continuing into my suite, you have a cute little book nook. You want to cozy up on a soft couch and read a nice little cozy book while somebody's sleeping or working or just having a nice little intimate moment. And then you walk into this mini bar, which to me is not mini at all. That is a full-on bar happening here. So fun little things we have, some nuts, some peanuts, some cashews, and jelly beans, and then cute little glasses there. And then they have sparkling and still water, and then of course a cute little coffee, which is very important to me, but every room has one. And then I am not really sure what this is, but they have it if you need it. And then this cute little drawer with the cups, teacups, some house shortbread, and some crisps here. I do not see a price sheet, so I don't know if this is complimentary, and I have a feeling we're gonna eat it. But that being said, they do have a little fridge for the mini bar area, and those have sensors on them. So I don't know, I'm gonna say those are included, those are not included. We'll find out when we check out. Leading straight into the bedroom area. One of my favorite touches when we were getting checked in, she was telling us as we were checking in that we can choose one of our favorite scents and they will spray that for turn down service, creating the ambiance of whatever smell or flavor you're wanting. I do love today is a Saturday afternoon, the happy Saturday, a nice big comfy bed, which I am very excited to sleep on tonight. This is our closet. So we do have these nice little drawers here that we've tucked away all of our shoes, some bigger closets for all of our clothes if you want to unpack and hang some of the things up here. A nice little desk to get ready. I love an area like this so I can do my makeup in the morning, because the desk, like up at the front, that's something that I'll typically unpack my phone and my laptop and some of my work equipment where I can get ready at this desk. So having two desks I think is really nice. And then another little area with a closet. There are some, interesting things in here. Laundry bag, shoe bag, looks like a shoe cleaner, and then a steamer. Love the lighting. I think the lighting is very cozy, very dim. That being said, is you can actually change the lighting. If you want a relaxed lighting, you want to make it a little bit softer, a little bit cozier in here, you can do a soft lighting. Or if it's first thing in the morning and you are ready to get this party going, nice and bright, let's do it nice and bright. I'm gonna keep it on soft because to me I prefer that ambiance. Walking right into the bathroom here, we have a double vanity, some nice little hand wash and hand lotion of a brand that I'm not familiar of, but I'm interested to hear the story behind that. And then lots of little drawers here. You have some mats, and this one I actually noticed has all of our dental kits and shaving kits and everything you might need in there. And then a little bit more of this brand, shampoo, conditioner, shower wash, and then they have bath salts, and then a nice big tub. And then, it's hot. I was gonna say a towel warmer. I should have known. And then a towel warmer. And then walking into the toilet area, you have your nice fluffy robes, which I always use when we're in hotels. And then you have your shower in here. And I do love these floor lights here, and also the bathroom floors are heated. That is one of my favorite touches in hotel bathrooms, because first thing in the morning, I love to turn the AC all the way down when I cozy into bed. So first thing in the morning, I feel like I'm always freezing. So having a nice warm floor to walk into is something that I am obsessed with. I am already obsessing over this room and this property, so let's go do a tour of the rest of the property. After our dinner reservations, we did have our butler then offer to escort us to the James Bond Spy Bar. They then ask for your phone so they can cover the phone, and they don't want any pictures leaking to anybody, basically sharing what this spy bar looks like. And once we were done at our 007 bar, our butler then offered to walk us back to our room, but we told them we could find our way. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about our experience at Raffles OWO in London. I feel like I didn't get to quite touch on how incredible everything truthfully was while we were there because it was cut a little bit short. While we were there, once we had pulled up, we immediately were greeted by the bellhop. They then had somebody grabbing our bags out of our car, and then they were escorting us into the property. Then we had them seating us into this beautiful lounge with these beautiful ceilings and a really beautiful, like, custom room. They started greeting us immediately by our name, so they had done their research prior to our arrival, which I thought was really impressive. I felt like throughout this experience, that is one thing I do want to touch on. As we were walking through the hallways, a few different instances, everybody had referenced me as Mrs. Payne. We had multiple people greeting us. Once we had walked up to our dinner reservations, we didn't even have to let them know our name and the time of our reservation. We had somebody immediately say, Mrs. Payne, you're here for your 7 p.m. reservation. Are you ready to sit? And I thought that was a really nice touch. I didn't really feel like I was just another number to this property. I felt like I was a true welcomed guest. I felt like everybody knew me and everybody was extremely welcoming to me. Once we had gotten our champagne and sat down for our welcome, we then got offered a private tour of the property, and I had already scheduled the tour with our personal butler, Aaron, which was incredible. He was so nice and extremely helpful and welcoming. But before our tour with Butler, the concierge and the guest arrival team basically offered to walk us around the property so we had a good lay of the land. And I always love that. Basically, this property was a Ministry of Defense, and they were talking about how they had taken it and used as much as they actually could to repurpose it and to create this really beautiful hotel, as what we know it as, Raffles OWO. And they had used as much as they possibly could from this property. It's absolutely insane because you do feel like you're walking a little bit through history. So as we were then escorted to our room, which, mind you, our room, you kind of have to turn a corner and go up a few steps, and it almost is giving you the feel of walking into like a flat apartment or some like really beautiful New York City apartment. And that was more their appeal. When I had asked about that, because I immediately was like, this is giving me the idea of like an apartment and not a hotel room, she said, well, at that point you feel a little bit more like you're at home rather than you are just showing up to a hotel. And it's small details like that at Raffles that really made me fall in love with the property. You weren't just walking up to a normal room in a hallway. You were walking into your flat, walking home for the night. They had left us a complimentary bottle of champagne for our arrival. My parents were also in town, so I invited them back to the suite to come enjoy some champagne with us. And I had text messaged our butler, Aaron, and I said, could you please bring us a few glasses for my champagne? And he so graciously also brought us a complimentary bottle of wine to enjoy with our champagne, along with multiple more glasses and some fresh glasses for us. So I thought that was a really nice touch. Like, I felt like all of our little moments like that, where I had said, could you bring some more champagne glasses, or could I possibly get a reservation? Everybody went above and beyond. There was a point where we were exiting the property, we were walking down the hallway, and there was staff that were also walking down the hallway, and all 5 staff members stepped over to the right simultaneously to then let us pass. And they then said, like, good morning, Mrs. Payne. So the fact that the cleaning staff even acknowledged who I was really made us feel so loved and welcome there, that this place really holds a place in my heart. So I feel like we do get exceptional service at a lot of properties. I just feel like this service was over the top from what we typically get at properties. So I can't rave on enough about that. This is one of those properties that looks exceptional. They invested $1 billion recreating this really beautiful historic site. And I think it's one of those places that you could walk up to and appreciate. But the service and the people is really what made this property come to life. Like, I really felt like that was my home for those few nights. And I think that's why that property stood out to me. So, but I say splurge and stay on property for 1 to 2 nights to at least try to experience it. Because to me, this was an experience I have never felt before.